Hi, I'm Harish Gurteti, founder of Cloud Optimize. Welcome back to my channel. Today it's a different topic. It's not technical. I get asked many questions on LinkedIn and by multiple people when I say I am trying to become an AWS partner. And I quit my job like 2019, a high paying job in the US, and I started my own thing. People tend to get curious and ask how they think my technical skills are really helping me with building my business. While part of it is true, but that's not what is required to actually get clients. So it's really about how you market yourself and how do you build your sales process. I don't say I'm the best because I just started, but in this video I just want to share my give you a behind the scenes look on my sales process. So far I was able to, I think I kind of understood a little bit about marketing. Yes, definitely with the sales process also, because I'm able to sustain or survive through the COVID. And also now I switched, I was working with small businesses doing Zoho implementations. Now I left that because I want to get back to my enterprise technologies, and that's where the challenge is, that's where the juice is. And I felt really live when I worked on those kind of technologies, especially cloud AWS. So this year I made that switch. So it's like whenever you change your business strategy and you change your business plan or do something new, it's again starting from ground zero, because the customers or the clients who were whom I served in the small business area are with Zoho One and Zoho and stuff. They are not AWS clients and they will never be. So now a different set of clients is what I need to find, and so it's again starting from scratch. So I just wanted to share how am I going to do this, how am I doing it. And yeah, it's not, I didn't grow. I mean, it's just been a month I started, right, and I'm working with one particular client. So there are different models on how you can, get started. But I'll help you. I'll share what I'm doing in this particular video. So as I said, it's just my thing, my how I handle this. It may be right, it may not be right. I mean, as an entrepreneur, the thing is, you don't wait for all the things to be right to take a step. You just learn as you go and make the decisions, and sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, and you just try to minimize risks and you just move on. That's what entrepreneurship is all about, right? Yeah, so let's go ahead and let me show you what I do, all the things that I do besides learning AWS and improving my technical skills. There are other things that I do, which I'm going to share today. So let's get started. So the first thing, as you know, most of you, is I do a lot of YouTube videos. About AWS, because I started with it, started AWS right now. So I'm doing a bunch of videos. So what does this do? So it is, I mean, this is sharing my knowledge and also helping my. So when you teach or when you share your knowledge, it actually improves. You can actually improve it, right? So when you teach someone, you actually get better. So the whole reason for making these YouTube videos is getting myself better, and to articulate what I know, so that when the situation comes with a real client, I'll be able to articulate better as well, and also myself. So if I have to make a video, I definitely will brush up my that particular topic, right? I mean, I know a lot of stuff because I worked in this. I mean, I worked with cloud for over 7+ years. I know a lot of these things because I am in enterprise technology for over 14 years. So I know this. Knowing is not sufficient, right? You have to be able to execute, implement, right? So those kind of things, hands-on things, I try it before I make a video, so that I get myself better. And also this shows that people, when they try to find me, when I try to go ahead and speak with them, potential clients, they when they do some online search for me, they find me and oh, okay, these guys know something about it, right? So It's just to increase my the awareness that I exist. So here's the problem with any new business, right? The biggest challenge for any new business is not really money, not really. Yeah, it has nothing to do with money or thing. The thing is, obscurity is the biggest problem. People don't know who you are and they don't care who you are, right? So as an entrepreneur, the job is really to get through that noise. But there's so many YouTube videos, there's so many LinkedIn posts, there's so many things that are happening every minute. As an entrepreneur, my job is to cut through the noise as quickly as possible, humanly possible, so that people get take notice of me, right? And then okay, it should go from who is this guy to okay, I know this guy. Oh, I know what he does. Okay, now let me do business with him. So that's the transition that has to happen, and these videos, posts, and all that stuff will make it happen. But it's a long route, right? It's a long way. It's organically growing. This it's going to take a while, but at the end of the day, if you want to run a business, you have to pay the bills, you have to survive, I have to pay myself, I have to maintain my lifestyle, I have 2 kids, I have to take care of family. So just the organic growth is just waiting for it to happen, doesn't solve or doesn't help me meet my needs, right? So what I do is you actually have to go through the typical sales process. Prospecting is trying to find potential customers and reaching out to them. That's really the outreach aspect of it. So I do a lot of outreach. So the outreach process or my prospecting process is simple. So I know I we create a target persona whom I want to go ahead and reach out and ask for business, right? And offer something in to prove that I am capable of doing it. Here's the thing. So when I reach out to someone, there are three things that they can do. They can say, hey, yeah, implement this for me. They can buy from me, or they can buy from the competition. There are over 100,000 AWS partners and very established partners. They can do business with them, or they can just keep doing it and do it by themselves, or they just don't need to do anything. So my job is to really figure out how to make sure that the potential client feels that hey, I have to do business with him, right? And my job is to make it as easy as possible and as low risk as possible, so that they can at least test me to see if I can deliver, right? So that's what I do. So generally, when my interaction with clients, I say, hey, I work, if it is like a long project, big project, I'll say, hey, I'll work for the first month for free. I'll give you, let's work on some definite measurable results for this month. I'll deliver it. If I deliver it, let's continue. If not, like, let's just, I mean, we can ignore, we can part ways, no offense, things like that. So absolutely, I don't mind working on pro bono basis, saying, hey, let me prove my thing, because I'm relatively new to this. I'm not a AWS partner with 50 employees, right? So I'm right now I'm 3-person team, and I'm trying to build this. So it's gonna take a while, and people need to know that I can deliver. So this really helps. That really helped in the past as well. Okay, so now let's get back to how do I prospect. So there is something called a product called Apollo.io. So this really gets you all the email addresses, phone numbers, and things like that, and it's free for the most part, for what I am doing, because on the month it gives you, as you can see, I have 385 credits this month. So I used only 100. So it's really it's really nice, because this is the free plan is enough at this point for me. But as I grow, maybe I'll go with the paid plan. So what this does is, first thing is, I go ahead and create a persona on whom I want to target or whom I want to reach, do an outreach. So here it is like IT directors for SMBs. Not SMBs, not like 1 to 10 employees, like it's like minimum of 30 to 50 30 plus employees, right? So SMB is New York and New Jersey, because the West Coast is really late. I tend to prefer to work with East Coast. So that's New York, New Jersey, Then I have IT directors for SMB India, IT director for SMB Canada. So these are the three personas that I created, and Apollo allows me to do define what they are. So if you go ahead and edit it, you'll see all the job titles, management levels, and everything. And then what happens is I can now go search for people. I can select that persona, right? And then I will get a list of these people that are available. So now what I do is I go ahead and look at each company. For example, this one is Chinmay Vidyapith. It's an education. I don't want to work with educational institutions because I don't know that business much. So I look at these company names, what they're doing, and then once I pick, like in a day, probably like 15 or 20, and I pick, I'll just go ahead, select them, add to a list. So I have these lists already created, like these no different lists. So I add to them, and then what I do is I go ahead and I export that list as CSV for that day, or I mean for that week. So right now I have like around 100. Then what I do is I import them into the CRM. So the CRM that I use is Freshworks suite, Freshworks sales suite. So here are all my contacts. So these are the people I'm trying right now. So if I remove the filter, I can show, I can, so so if you see, these are all all the people that I plan to reach out, do the outreach. And I mean, I'm not going to explain like what Freshworks does and everything. I mean, that is not part of this video. I'm just going to share the process. So I do this once I have all of them here. What I do is I don't just go ahead and send them a one common email to everyone. I don't do that kind of thing. I really try to understand who these people are, go into LinkedIn, understand them, and then what I do is I do a personalized video for them, and that can be done using Loom, something called Loom. So what with Loom, what we do is if you go to Loom, you can actually go ahead and create these personalized messages for each of your target, do the for the outreach. So you create these personalized 30-second videos, and just send it to and include that in the email that you send to the client. And then so I have an email template that I use for the clients, and in that email template I actually use that, embed the video, and that is what I do. So that's really the outreach that I do. And when people say yes, it's like you take it to the next level. The goal for the first meet for the goal for the email is not to sell. The goal for the meeting is to really say yes for a meeting. And in the the next meeting, the goal for that meeting is to set up the follow-up meeting to continue the discussion. So when I send a first email, I don't expect anyone to respond. It doesn't happen like that. So you typically, on the sixth, seventh, or eighth follow-up, people tend to respond, understand, thinking that okay, this guy is not, maybe they'll respond saying no, or some may say, hey, what do you have to offer, right? So something like that. Something will happen like between seven, fifth and ninth follow-up is something will happen during that time. So that is so again, the subject lines are important. When I send an email, if they don't open, then for the all non-opened emails, I actually send another email with another subject line. Maybe that will resonate to them better, whatever it is. So that sales process really, again, as I said, the marketing aspect of it is really building the YouTube videos, making social media posts, doing webinars. So I also do make some offers. So here, if you see, I do have I did an offer earlier for Windows FSX migration. So I do create some landing pages and run some ads, but it's not good to start throwing money in a new business. Here you have to understand who your clients are, customers will be. Then it is easier to spend money, right? So I tend to reduce. I don't tend to avoid doing paid ads at this time, because I want to understand the use cases first before I can actually build something around it and run paid ads. So this is the process. So marketing is really YouTube, LinkedIn, and the landing pages and offers. Even the offers, I say it by I publish it and do it, but don't really run paid ads at this time. Then in the sales process, I use Apollo to get the emails, then move them into say Freshworks CRM, and then I go ahead and use Loom to send personalized video messages. So yeah, that's a lot. As you see, that's a lot of work, right? So yes, starting to grow a business or getting your clients is not easy. Especially if you are doing into tech business, it's a very competitive business. So yeah, it's gonna take a while. So that's what I wanted to share. I want to give you a behind the scenes look on what I do on a daily basis, besides learning AWS and getting better at it, to grow my business. I hope this video is useful. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.